All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a brand new chapter of Sakamoto Days. Now, mind you, my One Piece reactions tend to go for a little while, but this one will not be as long because I tend to just say everything I need about the chapter and then move on so that way I can get started with the newest One Piece episode. Holster, it's good to see you, and it's good to see everyone else here as well. I hope your day has been great. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu92 here. Welcome back to yet another chapter of Sakamoto Days. In the last one, we had Lou and Granny Mia facing off against the, basically, order prospect that is this police officer, and we see them both fight this guy. We also see that Granny Mia got hands, being able to take out several people who trying to get inside of the van that's transporting Sakamoto down the road. She literally just dices them all up in no time flat. And now we have Lou, who was drunken but had to literally barf all of that alcohol up and then flamethrow the guy in order to get him off of her because he was using like this Sasumata type weapon. I forget the exact name of it. Please forgive me. And now it is just Lou and Granny Mia versus this dude whose name we still don't have, and his twisted brand of what it means to be a police officer. So, let's begin with days 228, Lou. And we get this dude walking towards Granny Mia and Lou with this two-pronged staff of his, going, "It's the death penalty for you two."
Lou, are you okay? Oh, I got this. Just wait until I bust out my secret drunken fist mode.
And then she's reaching into her pocket and thinking,
Crap, I drank all my booze. I need more or I can't use drunken fist.
And while she's thinking this, the police officer jumps up behind her to try and stab her. And while she tries to jump away, one of her shoelace loops gets caught in between the prongs of his weapon, and he starts to sling her upwards. Forcibly sling her upwards, where he takes his revolver out because apparently he has like a revolver, like a classic revolver, and he's pointing it directly at Lou.
Uh-oh.
And then Granny Mia comes in and looks like she blocks the shot. No, she doesn't block the shot. She takes the shot in her foot. She sticks her foot in the way and allows her right foot to be injured by this gunshot.
Granny, I'm so sorry, it's my fault. Fool, don't worry about me. Get out of here, Lou. You can't beat him alone.
And while Lou is thinking this, she immediately gets shoved by this this order cop. Let's just call him Order Cop. His name is Order Cop until we get his name. We get Order Cop slamming Lou halfway across the highway going,
Lou!
"No criminal has ever escaped me."
Well, now what? If I had some booze, I could use drunken fist. Should I run to the rest area? But it's too far.
And while she's up there on the rafters in the middle of the highway, because she got knocked upwards. While she's up there, on top of one of these signs, a car passes by, and a couple's in there just driving. "Drinking already?"
Oh, I'm a total alcoholic. You know, deep down, I'm just a schlubby old pig.
And while she's holding a can of beer, Lou slides down and yanks it out of her hand before the lady even realizes.
Sorry, but I need this. What? Light buzz booze? That's not gonna get me drunk. You call yourself an alcoholic.
And all of a sudden, the can that she's holding, in hoping that it'll get drunk, it gets knocked out of her hands by some gunshots, and the can itself is destroyed, all the booze leaking out of it.
Oh.
"I don't know what your deal is, but forget it." And then Lou, all of a sudden, she gets poked. She gets poked in her back, and it's Granny Mia hitting her in a pressure point that causes Lou to not only scream out,
Ow!
scream out, but also make her bend out of the way before this dude can, hit her with his weapon. That old hag.
Granny, I'm so glad you're okay. Drink this. There's only a few drops left.
And whatever it is, just a couple of drops go into her mouth while Mia goes,
Don't worry, I just activated an acupressure point. That hyper boosts your alcohol absorption.
and then all of a sudden, Lou's eyes start to haze over and her heart goes boom, boom. And all of a sudden, she slams this dude's weapon into the ground, much to his shock.
You bastard, you messed with the wrong girl.
And she takes his weapon, snaps it in half with her bare hands, and stabs one directly into his knee. She went from a 0 to 100 from just a couple of drops of alcohol. And because Granny Mia hit a pressure point in her back that made it so that the alcohol had a stronger effect on her. In an instant, she broke this dude's weapon and stabbed him in the leg with it. What just happened? And then all of a sudden, he gets punched in the face by Lou. Her speed and power, it's like she's a totally different person. And then she punches him in the face and then just shoves him directly in the path of a moving car. He's spinning in the air and she jumps above him.
I don't know what Slur's deal is.
And then, while she's spinning in the air above him, she brings her leg directly on his neck.
And anyone who messes with my family is dead meat.
And she says this as she undoes her ponytail, like she lets her hair free. And then Mia goes,
Nice work. So this is Lou's famous drunken triad mode.
And then Lou takes that same revolver the dude had and picks it up and points it at him.
All we want to do is live our lives in peace. If you threaten that, you'll be in big trouble. If you swear to leave us alone, I'll spare you.
I can't understand why you nutjobs would fight so hard to live a quiet, normal life.
Shut up! I'll ask you a question.
And then, Order Cop is just looking around and he notices something near Lou's foot. In the movies and manga, you see a lot of villains who want eternal life. If you ask me, those guys are real losers. And then he starts to take something out of his chest pocket. Life without the risk of pain or death sounds dull as heck. And it's a reflector as he shines light. He shines light directly in Lou's eye and takes the moment to try and swipe away the gun from her immediately because he immediately yanks it from her hand in an instant. But Lou dodges the same shot he was going to aim at her, and then she's looking as there's a chain around her arms, and now she's been handcuffed. In a split second, the script can flip. Man, isn't this great? And then he's just pointing a gun directly at Lou now. And then we cut to Kumanomi.
Heck yeah, the little turd's finally dead.
No!
Heck yeah, the little turd's finally dead.
Kumanomi is saying this because we cut back to Heisuke. And Heisuke is lying amidst a whole bunch of blood splatters. Hand off of his gun, face first into the ground, eyes whited over completely. There is no way y'all just killed Heisuke. There is no way y'all just killed Heisuke. There is no way they just killed Heisuke. So, things are looking bad for Lou. because she's handcuffed to the order cop, and now she can't get away from him. And him just musing like in a split second the script can flip. Man, isn't this great? This dude thinks that he's a main character in a movie for some odd reason. But now we got Kumanomi standing over what could be either the unconscious or dead body of Heisuke. I don't think he's down. I don't think he's dead, but he's down. Yeah, he's definitely down. He's definitely down. Uh So we get Lou. She gets drunk and she fights Order Cop. And she manages to not only just subdue him immediately, but also break his Sasumata. No, it's called something. It's called something. Sasumata. It's not Satsumata, but it's Sasumata. Uh she breaks that, jabs it into his leg. There's no way he's ignoring the fact that his leg, literally above his knee, has been skewered by this thing. But also the fact that he gets punched in the face and then pushed into an oncoming car, and then has Lou literally bring a falling axe kick directly onto his neck and slammed into the ground. There's that. But now he turns the tables a little bit and handcuffs both himself and Lou together so she can't just easily dodge away from a gunshot. And then we have Kumanomi saying that Heisuke is finally dead, as we see Heisuke just laying face first in the ground. So, given how Kumanomi has been wanting to kill Heisuke for a very long time, since their encounter with Hio, since the first encounter, not their encounter, but since her first encounter with Hio and Heisuke, and even now when Heisuke straight up pulled up and even shot off one of her earrings as a testament to say like, yeah, you're not getting away as easily as you think. All these moments where she has been close to killing Heisuke and it's been either delayed, stopped, or she would have to leave of her own volition. And now she's in a position of power where even if Heisuke is not officially dead, she is of the mindset of killing every single person from Sakamoto's group. Not sparing them, not bringing them in as prisoners, but literally killing everyone that Sakamoto holds dear. This outcome is sad, but it feel like a hopeless situation for him with the masked guy being seemingly immune to gunshots. It was a bad matchup, period. Even though Heisuke was saying like, there's no way I'm going to let you guys go, but I win this battle because I at least delayed you. That much, in part, is true. However, he is not strong enough to sustain a fight between someone as strong as Kumanomi and a man who literally flexes to deflect bullets. So the matchup was bad, but I didn't think the next time we would see Heisuke would be him, gun nowhere near him for him to grab. Well, it's kind of close to him. It's kind of close to him. But gun away from him, laying face first in the ground, surrounded by blood. That was not an outcome I was expecting. It's kind of not surprising to see this happen, but I was not expecting that outcome to happen so soon. And now that Kumanomi has effectively subdued Heisuke, not unless he gets like a second win, not unless he has like an inner monologue flashback moment where he thinks about how far he's come as a sniper and how he can't give up on his friends and friendship is magic type stuff like that, because some characters do that. I hope Peasuke is okay. I was worried. I was looking around Heisuke, making sure I didn't see a little parakeet body around him. I was so making sure that I didn't see anything like that, because if we see Peasuke and Peasuke is gone, then all hope for Heisuke is really, really lost. But thankfully, we didn't see that. Thankfully, we didn't see that at all. So what we have here is a situation where it's not like, oh, we can just leave everything to everyone else in Sakamoto's group right now. The tables are being kind of turned a little bit. Kumanomi has essentially come out on top in this fight with Heisuke, and that means that she's probably going to continue to go after Sakamoto along with Musha Lucha over on the side. And Lou is handcuffed to Order Cop, Granny Mia has had her foot injured, so she's not going to be just as spry as she was before. So these two groups have effectively have reached a handicap a little bit. Heisuke being straight up unconscious, if not dead already, and Lou and Mia being put into positions where they are not at an advantage anymore. Lou is is handcuffed, and Mia has an injured foot. So it's not looking particularly advantageous for Lou and Granny Mia. But yeah, that's currently where we're at with Sakamoto Days, and this chapter isn't going on break. We just had the chapter for One Piece we had just a moment ago was absolutely phenomenal. But we're not going on break. This was actually a pretty decent chapter as well. But I still worry for Heisuke. But we're not going on break for One Piece or Sakamoto Days next week, so we still got some days worth of footage left to go through. So there's still quite a few things that need to be worked out before we get back to Sakamoto and Sakamoto fully wakes up. And like I said before, I honestly feel like Shin is going to be the last line of defense protecting Sakamoto and his entire family. Because I feel like we're going to lose Kendaka along the way because Kendaka is going to jump ship and handle some business, and then Hard-Boiled is going to jump ship and handle some business as well, and then it's just going to be Shin left with Sakamoto and Aoi and Hana. So that's something that I know for a fact is probably going to happen because it just feels like that's happening in that direction. But with no break, we're going to have to see who we tune into next. Are we tuning into Heisuke because we just left off with Heisuke at the end of this chapter, or are we going to go back to Lou and then go back to Heisuke again? Still crazy to me. It's been over 150 chapters since Lou's last fight. 150 chapters. That's how long it's been. Yeah, it's been quite a while. It's been quite a while since Lou has actually fought. But it's good to see that her drunken fist is still very effective because she's still under the effects of it, mind you. Don't let her being handcuffed mean that she's out of this fight. It just means that she's just handcuffed. So she's going to have to figure out how to fight this dude while she's handcuffed to him. Which, considering she's still under the effects of alcohol, the dude may have put himself at a disadvantage given the fact that Lou was working them ribs quite easily as soon as she became intoxicated. So I fear more for the Order Cop than actual Lou. That's just me, though. She may get some cuts and bruises, maybe even get like a gunshot wound. But personally, I feel this Order Cop may have bitten off more than he can chew with him going, because he's monologuing. Okay, what did we learn? Zakaruga, it's good to see you. I'm happy for this week. It's going to be a very good week. But what did we learn from The Incredibles about villains who monologue? If you talk too much, you're going to get your ribs worked. That's how it works. You're going to catch some smoke. You're going to catch hands. So this dude is already mouthing off, just trying to monologue about like, oh, these movies and all these actors and everything. Oh yeah, I think her being handcuffed to him was his big mistake unless he secretly pulls out he's a phenomenal martial artist out of nowhere. If that were the case, he would have been more prepared to defend against Lou. But he wasn't. This dude got punched in the face. His weapon was snapped in half. He didn't dodge it like a martial artist expert would. And most importantly, how does one defend themselves from the random unorthodox fighting style of drunken fists? Not unless he's a master of it as well. That and wearing capes is a bad idea. Unless your body is invulnerable, wearing capes is a very bad idea. But yeah, this was yet another chapter of Sakamoto Days. Now the question is, who do we tune into next for the next chapter next week? Do we check in on Heisuke and figure out how everything led to him being bodied by Kumanomi and thus leading to us going... See, here's how I can see it happening. If we go back to Heisuke, we will see the events that transpired when Lou and company left him. And then the events of when he was fighting both Lucharan and Kumanomi. We still don't know their names. We just know that they've been hunted by the Order in order to join them. That's all we know. So if I'm making up these names of these dudes and these people, then just understand that we just don't know their names yet. So what I imagine happening if we cut back to Heisuke is we cut back to the moment where we left off from Heisuke and then focus on Lou, and we continue where that happened and thus the events leading up to Heisuke being, basically bodied. And then possibly leading into the moment that happens after that as we continue to focus on Heisuke and maybe him waking up. Because for all we know, wouldn't it be crazy if Kamihate shows up and then saves Heisuke from Kumanomi at the last second? I'm just throwing it out there. I think we start off with someone else getting out of the truck, or we focus on Heisuke. I see us cutting away from Lou and Granny here. I see it as well. Because there's no way we're going to have that small moment of Heisuke, and then we just cut back to Lou and Granny Mia. I honestly feel we're going to focus on Heisuke, and then lead back into Granny Mia again once everything is said and done. But wouldn't it be funny if Kamihate shows up to save Heisuke? And mind you, he doesn't even need to be relatively close for him to help, because we've seen the range of Kamihate. That dude can aim several miles out. That's how far he can aim. So he wouldn't even need to be close in order to save Heisuke. This arc is going to be fun. It is, because the author said that the moment we got started with chapter, 220, it was either 226 or 225, that's when the final battle of Sakamoto Days began. So we are essentially in the end game of Sakamoto Days. The fights that we witness here will possibly be the last major fights that some of these characters may be in. I hope he does. I want to see him fight again. I want to see Kamihate fighting to such a great degree that we see levels of marksmanship that even Heisuke wished that he could reach. And we know Kamihate is an unparalleled sniper in the world of Sakamoto Days due to the fact that he can literally redirect a bullet on the curvature of an airborne wheel of a motorcycle he actually shot before. So while the motorcycle is flying through the air in pieces, his aim is so good that he can curve a bullet around a corner by using the rim of a motorcycle wheel to make the bullet fly in the direction that he wants to go. So you can't tell me that he won't pull out all the stops in fighting Kumanomi. And especially fighting someone who's immune to bullets. How good of a bullets is he capable of resisting? Can he resist 50 cal? So all I know is that for us to be getting this final battle type deal with Sakamoto Days right now, I expect to see some crazy stuff. But I'm still going to stick with my idea that we cut to Heisuke, we see a little bit of his fight, it leads back to the present, and then we see what happens to Heisuke afterwards, whether he's dead or he's actually unconscious, or if someone comes to help him being Kamihate. That's my take, that's my theory. I think that's what's going to happen in the next chapter. If it doesn't happen, hey, I'm willing to admit that I was wrong. But overall, I am looking forward to the next chapter. And on top of that, we haven't cut to Nagumo, Shishiba, and Kamihate and Osaragi in a bit either. It's been a while. The last time we saw Nagumo and company was when the rest of the JAA tried to raid the building they were in, and basically everyone just wrecked them. All former Order members just basically eviscerated every single one of them. Even Osaragi, who wasn't even fully conscious at the time, just slicing through people like they're nothing, out of her sleep. So I imagine Nagumo and company will be just fine. But I will admit it has been a while since we last seen them. So it'd be nice. Wouldn't it be nice if they showed up to give aid to the members of the Sakamoto team? Kind of like how the Sand Ninja came in to help the Naruto and company when they were going up against the Sound Ninja 4 when they were chasing after Sasuke. I honestly feel that if the Order showed up to help out each member of the Sakamoto's team in that line, it would parallel with that so much. Having these way more powerful individuals come out of nowhere and save everybody else. That's how I feel. But that's just me speaking off the top of my head and just the prospects that I have. We'll have to see how the story progresses next week, the next time we have a chapter. But that's where I'm going to call it. I thought this was a pretty good chapter, but it's really what's going to happen next that is really going to solidify my opinion of this chapter, because I will bring this up again. It will solidify how I feel about this chapter based on how they do the next chapter. So we'll see then. But that's all I got. I told you this wasn't going to be as long as my One Piece reaction. All I can say to you, my wonderful, wonderful peoples, is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you, Halster, Zakaruga, and anyone else who's watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!